Went to Phil Harbor Park, and here's how it went.
These holes right here are also a form of weathering. Since they're little holes, whenever it rains, little pockets of the water will get into them and stay there. And as it slowly seeps into the rock, it slowly becomes deeper and deeper, causing the holes to get deeper as well, as you see right there.
That rock over there is part of this cliff, and since it has been raining so much, it's caused the rock that's being held by very little fragments to weather, and it fell all the way down to here.
This right here, all of this that goes all the way down as well, is an ephemeral stream, and the rocks here as well are part of small deposits of settlement. Depending on how much it rains, the different sizes of rocks show the types of the different velocities of the water, which can carry more and heavier pieces of particles down the stream. And since it is quite low right now, it did not always rain as much, and it has caused smaller particles to move around. As you see here, all these rocks have moss on them, and this is a sign of chemical weathering, because the types of things that allow the moss to grow is slowly wearing down the rocks, which allow the moss and the lichen to grow.
As you see here now, this is a caliche. As you see, there's parts of the rock that kind of look like it's turning into concrete and the different types of soil layers. And as you go through those rocks, there's also biotic weathering. You can see the roots of these trees going all the way through, same as over here, and it connects to this ephemeral stream. This usually does not get, as you see, as wet, if I can say that correctly, but usually it is very dry, full of rocks. And because it hasn't rained so much in the past couple of days, it has caused the stream to fill back up. The tide is the velocity of this the stream is very low, very still. It's caused the stream to stay still, and there's not much movement of settlement, and erosion is quite slow in this process, but it's quite amazing. A better example of biotic weathering and how the trees just move their roots through the rocks. See right there? The tree's right there, and it is practically forcing its way through the rock. It has made the rock crack in multiple different places. This is a perfect example of the rock fall. Many rocks were eroded, causing the fragments of the cliff to break off and fall down here and lead to the stream. And that is where it is deposited. Here, you can see more of the stream. And unlike the other areas I've seen, there's more flowing water here. It is quite faster than the other places I've been to. And so it's able to carry more particles throughout the water in this area compared to the others in the park. It goes on quite far, and as you can see, the rocks right there are too big for the stream to carry. There's not enough water or velocity to carry those, so those stay there in that bank and are deposited there. But the smaller rocks are able to be carried through that stream. As you see here, the ground is quite elevated. There is a talus here, because if you keep going up further, there's a cliff. But with the erosion, multiple rocks, small, some bigger as there, have been breaking off. And since it is not all just rocks and like there's mud as well, whenever it rains, small parts of the little areas will have these little mudslides that will carry down different types of sediment down and deposit them all the way down here. Because of the stream's erratic movement right there, it has caused the bank to cut into two, allowing it to diverge in two different directions. Another example of how sediment gets and creates little banks. As the stream goes, it diverts in many different directions, but slows down right there. And as it slows, there isn't enough power to move those rocks anymore, so those stay there. While if it follows this trail here, will continue to keep moving on throughout the stream and get carried down.